Okay, I wonder if that means stand live. So for today, I have some stuff planned in terms of like trying Mac on in the Linux, but I wanted to work more on my like streaming setup first. Um, as for Mac, I had it for like 1 week now, and I started working on it. So I started running my like real projects and some games, and yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, last time I was using like an app that was showing the like fans and how I wanted to say fast, but it's actually like how slow it's actually running. There is a way to like run it full blast. I think like that. Is it running? Oh yeah. I think Mike isn't picking it up, but it's pretty loud. I don't know what to do to like to get it as loud. And one of my like tests that I usually do, uh, I even do that sometimes to get like just like laptop warmer. Like when you take out like cold laptop and it's like too cold to handle it or like put it on the lap, yeah, just run grep. So you just want to search for a long string in a random device, and this usually takes like 100% of the like one CPU core. So let's see if that works. Yep, like as advertised. So I think this is like 10 core machine. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this should theoretically take up like all the resources that the machine has, and it should like run as basically like as hard as it should when using 100% CPU. But when I tried that before, I didn't get like too much out of it. Like fans will start. I'm not sure how soon. Yeah, I see like 90 degrees on the CPU. Yeah, so fans are starting to work, but I don't even remember how hot. Not hot, but like how quiet. So let me. Yeah, so 1500 RPM, you won't be able to hear it like at all. And I think it starts being like audible at around like 2000. So yeah, let's see if this thing will get audible. Yeah, so it's showing idle like 1%, which is like which is good. I hope my stream is not lagging. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that on my like Intel machine. Yeah. So it will prioritize running quiet than running cold. So you see that it's like 90 degrees, but like the fans are inaudible. So unless I like do some GPU stuff, it won't probably do like anything different. It will continue to be kind of like that. So in my case, OBS doesn't use GPU, so it only uses CPU. So like I have my CPU running full blast, but like the and that's my like what I do for work. Like the only thing I can load is CPU. So that's what I saw. Unless I'm running games, I won't be able to basically like make a sound over the laptop. And that's pretty cool. And like compared to my old laptop, yeah. So I will do some comparisons. And yeah, it's like 100 degrees. Oh yeah, I think it's picking up a bit. Yeah, so yeah, so I think I'm starting to hear something, but it's basically like, yeah, I have to get closer to the laptop to hear it. Okay, so what I wanted to do is to just like work a bit on my setup. So yeah, so let me kill all of that. It couldn't find the string in the list of random numbers, so there's hope in random number generators. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to to work basically like on my intro. And so far I have something like this is my basically like behind the scenes channel. So I wanted to work on some like projects that are like real projects that I would be like would want to advertise, I guess, like on my like Twitter or something. But this stuff is just kind of like to document the journey, I guess. And yeah, so I spent a lot of time like working on streaming setup and like on some of the ideas and stuff like that. And I feel like it's kind of like not productive unless I publish that part as well. So that's kind of like my attempt of doing that. So I wanted to actually like start streaming pretty long time ago, and in my mind it's measured in like 2 laptops ago. So right now I got this MacBook, and I'm pretty happy with like how it performs. So I see that I can like, I don't know, like play a game like 120 FPS and stream it at the same time, and it's like it's not breaking too much sweat. And of course like do some work and stream it. So that's kind of like my main goal anyway. And the previous laptop that like I kind of like wanted to do that on was this Dell XPS. That's number one. That's because we had 2 of them in the household for some time, and we needed to distinguish. Yeah, so and this one I got about 5 years ago, and a few years before that I had maybe like even more, I don't remember now, but some years before that I had a Asus laptop. It was like gaming laptop. It was pretty huge and it wasn't that performant. You have to keep in mind, I think it was like older Intel generations, not only Intel but like Nvidia or like, I don't know the details that much, but the idea is that now a lot of the stuff has like special like chips to optimize streaming, and it's like it's not going to like take too much resources, but these are not not this story. So they take a beating when you stream, and I had like on this Dell, I had issues with like overheating and stuff like that. So I even like I even replaced like thermal paste and like did some like cleaning on it after like few years of it. But yeah, it wasn't helping much. That's probably like the idea for one of the next streams, is to clean it up a bit again. Anyway, so I basically had problems with performance. So, and if I don't have don't have like a machine that can stream, there is like no way to to kind of try. So so what I did before, so like the first video on this channel is when I do like the debrand skin, apply debrand skin on the laptop. It actually like ended up pretty great, but unless I set up like external camera, I have no way to show it. Anyway, so that was streamed using my my laptop, the Dell, and it worked because I was only streaming and not doing anything at all. So that's kind of like that's what I got from experience of like trying to set everything up and like trying to see if throttles and stuff like that. I can do like one thing on that laptop. As soon as I try to do anything else, so even if I like start somewhat real project like Node.js or something like that, it will like overheat and like turn on the fans, and yeah, it's not pretty. So that one is like the only the only thing that was possible to stream from that laptop was like when I show something not on the computer but like on the camera, how I applied that debrand skin. Anyway, so that's why I'm trying to set up everything on Mac, because it works, and now that it works, I need to work on the content. There is no more excuse of like not having a hardware. Anyway, so speaking of like external camera, so one thing like what comes to mind is that I recently watched this guy's Toast video about like streaming setups, and the thing that he mentioned is like everyone is trying to sell you streaming stuff. You're you're going to spend so much money and like won't start streaming. And that hits home. So one of the things that I bought in order to set up the stream was like this phone. It was joint bad reason to get a phone. One was for the streams, and the second one was to join Clubhouse, because it was iOS invite only, and I just wanted to join the hype, and I got like cheapest possible phone that was like compatible with like iOS version that was supported by Clubhouse. And I was actually going to buy like a tablet, because like I could use a tablet, but because of the pandemic, like all the tablet prices are off, and phones were fine. So I got like this refurbished phone for, I don't know, maybe like $150 or something like that. That was like okay. But yeah, that's probably like the most expensive thing in my setup, and I'm not sure if it's going to look even like better. So that's what we got. It was looking better than Dell's camera, so like it was at that time. Anyway, so let me start. Yeah, for some reason it opened it like on a different. Yeah, so speaking of temperatures, yeah, so it's still like fans are still running, but it's like inaudible because it's less than 2000, and the temperatures are kind of like it won't get any colder until I kind of like stop using running OBS, I think. Anyway, so I don't really like spending money. That's why we're going to use like this free software that works with like this whatever iPhone that is, like 6, 8, something. I know there are like on Mac there are a lot of other software that could work, but this is what I used on Linux, and I'm probably going to start with it at least, because other software for Mac, I think it's paid, so I'm not too excited to try paid software. Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, I should probably do it on the... Okay. Yeah, the new like permission stuff in Mac sounds. Oh yeah, so I did a lot of kind of like setup and customizations on my like real profile in Mac. So this user is still like as it was out of the box, so I'm hesitant to move a lot of those settings here, but like I would have to probably do it at some point. Yeah, so the first thing is like I set up Alfred because they say I don't use Mac as much, but they say like the spotlight is basically useless. Yeah. Okay, so now I can start the software on the phone. Okay, so it's running. Now on Linux I have settings to like for the quality and stuff. I don't see it here, so I can also switch frontal and like rear camera. Okay, so let's maybe add it in OBS. Oh, okay. What's the way to make it less crazy? So it's video capture device. Oh, it's not showing up here. Yeah, that's not great. Huh. Okay. So what am I missing? Okay, this software is free. But will it work? Video and audio. for the price. What's the price? If it says free. I'm confused. Okay, so let's try to install that and see how free it is. Oh, they have like a lot of them. The Roman is claiming to be free. Okay, this one has like more stars, so hopefully it's there's one that is even more. Okay, let's try. Yeah, that's not going to be exciting because you won't be able to see what I'm doing on the phone. Okay. So if this fails, I called it to yeah. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Make sure you have OBS Studio plugin. Okay. OBS Studio plugin sounds good unless I have to restart my stream. I don't see the okay, I think it's flashing like the watermark, so maybe that's how they make you pay. Purchase options. Okay, $10 a month. And that doesn't sound great. Okay. And there's this one. PC driver. I sense some kind of airdrop. So it has a okay. That's kind of silly, but oh, Elgato. This one is from Elgato. I heard about it, but I don't remember how kind of like EPOCam. That one might be free. I don't remember. Oh, okay. You are paying on this side. Okay. I need to know Apple return policy. Can it returns apps on the App Store? Oh yeah, and this account doesn't have like a iCloud, so it's not going to work. Okay. So I can get a refund. Reason for refund. Might be eligible. Okay, that Yeah, I think it works like that. Okay. So let's try to fix this webcam stuff. First, because it was working on Linux pretty good. And I mean, I didn't see like any controls that I would see on Linux. Maybe there's like preferences is grayed out. It's not showing up here. Yeah, this is not going great. So let's judge the quality still. Maybe there's just a way to kind of like capture the window itself. So anyway, so I'm using the brand basically like the package it came in. It's not in focus. Okay, so this is the laptop. And this is the skin that I have in it. It had like a crease when I was like trying to apply and reapply it, but I don't see anything now. So it worked out great. There are still like not even corners, but like I was kind of like not ready to deal with it anymore. So I'm going to leave this uneven corners. Yeah. So it's not in focus. I can tell that. And it's not like crazy sharp either. Yeah. I feel like the Mac webcam is looking better. Yeah, the color is blown out here. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do here. I think it came into focus. let me show it here. Let me get it kind of like closer to where the laptop camera is. Oh no, my display disconnected. Yeah, colors are not great. So I have it flipped on the webcam. Yeah, I think we are sticking with the webcam. So one thing I see people do right now. I don't know like how important that is. But everyone's trying to do like the rounded webcam, and I was just curious how to do that. So let me kind of like move it so it doesn't look that crazy. And oh yeah, I wanted to play with light a bit. So this one, yeah. So I have like regular Philips Hue like light. We moved, and this one is basically like not used anymore, so it wasn't like an expense to get it, so I didn't feel that bad. So this is like a full blast. It's not looking great kind of like here, but if I turn it all off, like the light I have, you can actually like see the lens flare. Yeah, I would have to like figure out what to do with this one. So lights are above me, so it's not looking that bad, but I kind of like prefer to have some light in my face. Okay. I don't know how much better that is, but oh yeah, I actually need to work on actually need to work on like a scene where I have like big camera. And the other thing is that I'm not 100% sure if I should be like streaming in the same aspect ratio, because even like the YouTube thing is like the current resolution is like not at whatever it shows. Let me see. Yeah, the current resolution, which is not optimal. So I'm not entirely sure what I should do about it. Is there like some letterboxing I should do? Should I just stream kind of like part of the screen? Yeah. So that's one thing I need to solve. And yeah, so the other thing is that like I need some screens for like just chatting. And yeah, I need to add my mic to it first. Otherwise, you're not going to hear anything. Is it working? Okay. And now I need to add my video capture. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to crop some stuff still. Yeah, I don't want to show full frame because like the back there is a mess. And yeah, so maybe I can crop that light. Yeah, so it's not really like full HD, or yeah, but yeah, I guess the like phone camera was looking even worse, so that's what we need to do for now. Yeah, I think. Okay, I will clean it up a bit later, but I think that's what we're going for right now. Yeah, I think I also need like hotkeys for like muting my mics and stuff, and I don't remember what to say those. Okay, that's kind of how we wanted to do it. And the other scene that we need is kind of like AFK or some kind of like starting ending scene, and for that I need some kind of like design or whatever. I wonder what should. The last time I just found some like AI generated picture, so maybe I should do something similar. Again, I also don't have too much time right now, so I should probably get moving with my bit of testing that I wanted to do. So, oh no, I just moved it. Okay. Okay, so let's get back here, and what we want to do is that I want to start my Linux here, and I wonder if I can like SSH into it and just run like some commands. So one of the apps that I installed was Tabby, because I really wasn't happy with I wasn't happy with how it was going on the iTerm. I had some issues with it, but the tab is not great either. So but I feel like this is the one that I should kind of like spend my time configuring instead of just giving up. Oh no. What did I just close? Hide? No. Sure. Terminal. Yeah, I think this one. Yeah, that's the problem with Mac. In order to make anything work, you need to install like Carabiner, and Carabiner fixes like some of the things but breaks all the else. Yeah, so it's a mess. In my user I have like 80% of this set up, so I'm not that excited to to do it here, but anyway. Oh yeah, and I think it's ZSH by default, which I'm like, I tried to do something useful with it, but yeah, it wasn't like a success. So yeah, we will see. Okay, so the first thing first is that I want to try if I can just connect to my other computer. Looks like I can. So now let me generate a public key that I want to send. What? Okay, SSH key again minus T ed, whatever that is. Okay. Now I need some way to copy the public key. So kids, this is how you do it. I guess there is like some kind of like airdrop, which is not going to work on the Linux. So we only need to send like this string. So if I open a port on my Linux machine, and if I just basically like, do I have NC here? Yeah. So I can just like send this stuff into the whatever the IP was. And like some port. Yep, I got it. So now we copy that stuff into like a known, how do I do it? Add SSH key to authorized keys. So just SSH authorized keys. And let's try it again. Permission denied. Okay. Why? Huh. So we'll attempt trying private key, offering public key. Okay, that's better. Let me remove the, yeah, if there is like a simple solution to your problem, that's probably it. Okay, so this is the test that I was doing. I think you can split like screen somehow, split, right? Yeah. This is the test that I was doing like in previous video. I just like didn't have a way to to show what's going on. I guess we can do this. So this is like the CPU that I have on this computer. One thing is that I'm running this computer at kind of like lower frequency by default, just because it's like a real problem for me, like hearing the noise like of all the fans and stuff. So I set it up with basically like a handwritten script that yeah, so it's like it will turn off the cores if it's like it's overheating. It will turn off the like max frequency depending on like the fan speed. So this is what like I forgot how it's called, like CPU frag or something, should do by default, but I kind of like wrote my own thing. So the test itself is short enough so that all of that stuff won't kick in. But this is like the thing that I have to keep in mind, that I might introduce something there. But the idea is that we will just go to like TMP folder and we will run this npx command, and we will do exactly the same on the Mac. And yeah, so we will add like time here and time here. So we might even like add sleep 1. So I have like chance to like run it at the same time. Anyway, so yeah, so everything is running full blast. So, and like my CPU is like this, whatever years old CPU that is. Do they have like a release date? So now it's like 7th gen. So we can probably like figure out when that was. Yeah, the back button like on the mouse doesn't work in back for some reason. I'm upset. Yeah, date 2017. So in 2022 it's going to be like 5 years. So it's kind of like 5 years old CPU, 7th gen compared to 11 or 12 they have right now. And it was pretty good when I was getting this laptop. So I paid like 2,000 for it. I know that like the screen, like the touch screen and like 4K option was like 400 more. So we can think of like the video card and like CPU of being like part of the like $1,500 laptop in 2017, I guess. But yeah, so it was pretty good computer, and except that it was overheating. Anyway, so let's return here. Okay, so everything is running full blast, and this is just I guess I should start first. Oh no. Why would that be a problem? Huh. Okay. So we need to fix this first. So let's figure out what is happening. Yeah, this is the other problem I have in macOS. I press some buttons that they like don't even have like an idea what I'm pressing, and then like some window will show up, like your recent documents or like this dictation thing. Like there are like so many things that are happening like randomly that I'm I'm not happy. So what is happening? You're running requires node 14. Okay, so this one is how did I run this test before? Okay, this is not great, but we can deal with it. I guess they launched recent version just recently, like less than a week ago, because when I was testing this. Okay, we can just install node 14. Yeah, not slower. So the output of the command is a bit different, but I think that the result is the same. So node version is 14 now. Okay, and I guess npx. It's a bit different, but I don't know if that matters. So I'm more concerned with like npx version, because who knows if it means anything. Version. Oh yeah, and I guess npm. Okay, so I need to install npm 7 here. Okay, so it should be the same version now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I know that like Yarn versions don't really matter, but I guess we can install it while we are here. Yarn. Oh yeah, I also don't know how to switch between tabs, so that's why I click on it. Okay, that's probably reasonable. And now we can do npx whatever that was. Okay, so need to install this package. I wonder if there's like a way to auto install it. Okay, this part is probably like not that important, but I will try to run it at the same time as well. Yeah, so the thing is that here I have like way more stuff already installed. So that's why I don't think it's like a reasonable comparison. You are running, which is behind the latest. We no longer support global installation. Please remove any global installs. Okay, fair. Settings. I should probably just do config sync and sync them between each other. Okay, let's do this part anyway. So, okay, I guess I don't have it. Why would it be complaining then? Oh my God. Yarn. What? What is this package then? And I can run it. Oh. Yeah, then no things are crazy. So it's config yarn global node modules .bin .create React app, and so it's create React app. Yeah, so why doesn't it remove it then? Using Volta to install. Huh. I see. So they switched from the version 4 to version 5. So I have version 4 installed as a global package. And now I can probably uninstall. Okay, so when I do any of that stuff, it's still there. Perfect. This is exactly what you want to hear. So it's still there. I can still run. Perfect. No complaints at all. Okay. Yeah, so the simple thing to do is just to remove everything by hand. That's the Node.js way. And we also need to remove like all the bin stuff and whatever the first one was. Yeah, this one. Okay, so hopefully okay. This went great. This went exactly as I planned. Okay, so nothing works. We can't install the latest version. So I can't test anything. Just great. You're running for. So what does that mean? Who is? So maybe I can do something like that. Was that it? I'm so hoping that that was it. Okay. So we're probably not going to use this run because like I have no idea what kind of like the cache difference was for all of these projects. But the idea is to compare these runs. So the computer is running at whatever the like gigahertz it can, and now we can run this and this, and maybe we can show like activity monitor for good measure. I don't know how to get it there so you can see like CPU load. Yeah, something like that. So no, it's this is going so wrong. Okay, so this one was working. And it's going to be on my app 3 here. Okay, so let's run it again. Yay. That's what I was going to show you. Right. So the important stuff to compare, I think, is yeah, it's kind of like not really. It's not great that like the format is different on different operating systems, but the idea is that so we have like system 2 seconds here and system 7 seconds here. We have 18 seconds user and 21 seconds user, and then we have total 16 seconds and real 16 seconds. So you can see that it's like it's working a bit differently in a way how it's split between the like user and system, but the real thing that you like feel when you're running this command is the real. And I'm so glad that this number is exactly the same. It's like 16 seconds down to like 0.2 seconds. Is that the difference? Yeah. So this is 8-core i7 5 years old CPU that can like turbo charge to like 3.8 whatever gigahertz, and this is 10-core M1 Max that is like not thermal throttled like in the list. So it's still running at like 1600, and that's because we like kind of like overheated it with like crap at the start of the show. But anyway, I'm gonna run it again just to show that it's like it's actually like pretty consistent. And oh, I think my camera is obscuring the like results a bit, so let me kind of like move it out of the way. Yeah, and let's run it again. So just want to clarify that this like sleep one, it doesn't come into like any of this consideration. That's just so I can easily like start it at the same time. This thing, it just takes into account like how long this part of the stuff is working. So okay, so we're starting the same command at mostly the same time, and it's doing mostly the same operations. They have all of this stuff in cache, so okay, it's taking much more time on this computer for some reason. Yeah, that's actually the thing that I wanted to mention, is that this 16 seconds, this is like best case scenario for this Dell. If everything works out great, it will be done with this in 16 seconds. But if anything is running on the computer, it will slow it down and it will be like 30 seconds, as you just see. The only problem is that I don't have anything running on that computer right now. So I don't know if maybe like this latest stuff is interacting in any way. So let's just, for the like sake of the experiment, is just run it a few more times. So yeah, this one is going to be messed up because of the like prompt, but it's not much I can do. Maybe latest is the wrong way to do it. Maybe like let's just do like 5. Yeah. Okay, so okay, so let's do it again. This time for real. Okay. Because I was thinking that latest might be like interacting with the cache, and if it checks if it's really latest, and like one of them is just getting like replies in a like microsecond later or something. Okay, so we got our 16 seconds again, and so on each run we need to create new folder, otherwise it will just return that like, okay, this folder is already done, and it will be done in like a few seconds. So that's not like a real test. So this is a real test. So let's start this and this, and yeah, you'll see that it's doing exactly the same stuff, exactly as fast, except that like this is like 5-year-old CPU. Yeah, so this one did it 15 microseconds slower. Once again, this sleep one thing doesn't really do anything, so we can, I don't know, maybe like switch it up so it doesn't look like I'm trying to do something like shady with it. Okay, so let me explain what happens. And this time it like, I don't know, like few percent faster. So this is running locally on a Mac, and this Mac is running OBS, but it's basically like, because it's a 10 core, OBS is only taking like 1 or 2 cores. So like this app is not going to run any slower if I turn OBS off. And this is on my old Dell XPS. It's almost 5 years old. I will maybe like check and put it in the comments when I got it. But the idea is that this is a older CPU, and it's running this, I would say, pretty like real world command that does like a lot of stuff. It for sure like loads your CPU, but it also like checks like caches and like goes to like SSD and RAM or whatever. So I think it's actually pretty pretty reasonable like benchmark, and it's funny that the results are so close, even though this is like from completely different systems. So just to explain what is happening a bit more, I just wanted to say that this Dell isn't running like much, so you can see like that, like it's basically like there are like no apps in the tray. There are some background processes that I have like maybe like in Docker or something, but it's like it's not doing much. So like if you open top, it's like it's empty top. Everything is 0%. So it's running at like this 2500 RPM, which is pretty good. It's like it's barely audible. So yeah, it's basically like idling, and this command runs 15 seconds, so it doesn't like get the system like hot or whatever that would cause like slowdowns. As for the Mac, you can see that it's running like 1600 RPM, which is also like not audible, but in a way less audible way. Sometimes sometimes it's like 0 RPM, sometimes it's like 15 or 1600. So if I would like let this machine cool down for like few minutes with like closed lid, it will be 0 RPM, and like this command will not run the fans. So I think it's pretty like close to how I would like to use my machine, right? Because it's like it shouldn't be running any fans, and if I run this one simple light task, it shouldn't like get it hot. It's just 15 seconds of like 100% of like one core, or like 1.5 cores, I guess, in case of this. Anyway, so the other thing we can try is that if you can go to this directory that we just created. The other kind of like reasonable command to run is yarn build. So let's sleep for 1 second here, and let's do yarn build here as well. I think it's a real small project, so the build is not going to be like that slow, but it's still, I feel like a real life use case. And as you can see, the Mac was like half a second slower, and I have the app that is like pretty big, and I ran the same like build command on the, I just don't want to kind of like show the code for it on the stream, but I did my own testing, and the results were pretty much the same. So it would be like 2-second difference on the like 30-second build or something like that. So I was pretty surprised when I was looking at all of that stuff. The other testing that I was doing is that I had like MacBook Air that I had to return because of like some issues with keyboard. It's not that like keyboard wasn't working, it was just it was wrong keyboard. Anyway, so what happened there is I actually like ran Linux emulator inside it, and I was building kind of like this exact same projects, and I was getting exactly the same results. So as for my testing, I didn't see like difference between like M1 Air and M1 Max. I wasn't looking for one, so maybe like maybe there is like a way to get it, but in my testing, my 5-year-old laptop is doing this job in exactly the same time as MacBook Air was doing, and exactly the same as this M1 Max is doing. The only difference is that when I do some stuff, so let's return to our like tests of like running grep on like on dev random. Let me copy this command. So what this does, it just 100% loads one of the cores, and so let's run 3 of them, and the same on the Mac. So now if I run top, I don't know what this is. It wasn't there. Okay. What is that? Oh, I see. It's basically like a kernel process that generates random numbers for the lanes. Yeah, so if you run top here on a Mac, yeah, we will see that it's. Oh, I still have rerun working. So it's also like eating like 3 cores. So what's the difference is going to be that like on the Dell, that will end up in like computer getting much hotter. So we can check on the Mac. It's getting like 90 degrees on the CPU, and Dell is not that hot yet. Actually, it's funny to see that. I mean, Mac is also like running OBS this whole time, so it had like more time to get warmer. Okay, so we'll probably still have some time before it's getting hotter. So let's go back to running this command. Like on the Mac, I expect it to run exactly the same, but on the Dell, I expect it to get slower. So let's run it. Okay, so the fans on the Mac are getting somewhat like audible. But nothing I can hear in this headphones, of course. Okay, so I think we're starting to see the difference. Okay, even though the temperatures are not that big, and it's like it's not getting thermal throttles or anything. It's running fine. I think there's like, it's harder to kind of like check that stuff in Linux unless I'm sorry. At least I'm not aware how to do that. But I can see like the temperature's climbing, but fans are still like pretty quiet. It's actually, yeah, Mac is much more louder, so I would say that like at 3000 RPM you can hear the fans, in terms of like you can hear the fans. It's not like bad noise, but it's like it's working. And the difference is that on the Mac we're also running OBS. So let me maybe I don't have enough space to put everything. Okay, maybe like that. Yeah, so because we have like but again, on this on the other side, like the Dell has less cores, so it's only 8 cores, but here we have 10. So this was supposed to show that when we are starting to do something on my Intel machine, the job that only takes 1 or 2 cores is getting slower, while on Mac, kind of like no matter what I'm doing, it's not getting it's not slowing down as much. That's kind of like my feeling from it. But again, this test was kind of like random in few places before, so maybe there is like some problem with my methodology. Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. I get 17 seconds instead of 16, and I get like audible fans instead of like just quiet. And let's run it again. Yeah, it's funny that it's like yeah. So it finally finally it happened. Okay, it started. So my script started to do stuff. Let me turn it off. Maybe that's what's happening. Okay. And okay, all 8 cores are here. All of them have like full throttle. And yeah, so both of them are running at the like kind of like 3000 RPM. Both of them are audible. And okay, let's run our test. So Okay, 30 seconds. It's not 16. Okay, 42. Okay, that's not great for my theory. The theory being is that this test is pretty stable and that the amount of work that the other cores are doing is not interfering with it. So let's run it again. Yeah, it's funny that like the values are like 16 seconds or 30 seconds. there's no in between. It's either running as fast as it can or it's running like twice as slow. Okay, so on Mac, from run to run, we can get like 16 seconds or we can get 30 seconds. But on Dell, like it happened. Like we completely kind of like broke it. It will never go back to 16 seconds. Yeah, so it's getting into 4000 RPM, which is pretty annoying because it's kind of like winding with not great sound, because it's just like older laptop and like the bearings or whatever, they're not really like fun to hear. Yeah, and let's get rid of the grab stuff on the Mac as well. So we will run this thing just a few more times, just to kind of like, and just to be different, I will do sleep on this side now. Okay, we got 17 seconds, considering that was the only thing that this computer was doing. And this one was returning 16 when it was only running with like OBS, and 17 when like everything was running. Except for a few times when it was returning 30 seconds, which is kind of like the problem with my tests. I was expecting it always returning in 16 or 17 seconds, but yeah, we had few times I think when it was 30. Yeah, it's back to 16 again. Yeah, so that's kind of like my my result for now, is that it wasn't as great of an upgrade as everyone was raving on like on YouTube. And in terms of like my productivity, everything I'm doing work related is running exactly as fast as it would be on like my Intel machine. The difference is that on my Intel machine, if I do one thing, it's going to be fast. But if I do more than one thing, as I was saying before, if I dare to stream and do something at the same time, it's not going to be great. It's if I'm lucky, and it's going to be like it was right now, running at like 3,000 or 4,000 RPM. It's going to be like twice as slow. But if I'm unlucky and if it's going into like 5000 RPM and if it's going to a thermal throttle, like everything will just stop and there will be like kind of like no way back. Yeah. So, and on the Mac, so I saw the problem once where it was so the problem was that basically like everything became slow, and I didn't see the reason. There was nothing in like CPU usage. There was nothing like kind of like running or yeah, I was just like confused. Everything was slow, and like just restarting the system helped. This only happened once for the last week. I hear a lot of people like complaining about like this just like new macOS release that it's just wonky and like stuff like that happens. But yeah, that wasn't nice. It's like it wasn't a pretty problem, and it wasn't a pretty solution. So I was a bit upset about this part. But other than that, I didn't. Yeah. So in my experience, everything was running pretty fast, and like there's nothing really that makes it slower. as you saw, like even running like I don't know, like 5 of the 8 or of the 10 cores like at full blast, we saw like commands running at 70 seconds, except like few times when it was running at for 30, and that's something like unexpected that happened while we were doing this test, because like in all of my testing it usually returns at like exactly the same time. So it's going to be curious to try to figure this out more. But anyway, yeah, so I was talking about like my productivity. So for work, what I do is kind of like representative, but by what I was running this test for. Is like if I'm trying to build something, if I'm trying to install something, it basically runs as fast as like best case scenario for my i7 machine, but it runs as more consistently. Where my Intel machine, if I do something with it, it will be real slow. So then if you go to like yeah, so then if you go to like benchmarks and we look at those CPUs, you can see that like the M1 is like in single core stuff, which almost all my tests were kind of like single core. Cinebench gives this one like about 1000, and this one about like 1500, but I don't see this difference like at all. And everything that I do, it works the same. And this makes me think of like, what if I got like just like latest like 11th generation Intel computer? Will it run like 1.5 times faster? Because this M1 Max is not running faster, it's running the same. Where the difference is for me that I can really see is in kind of like multi-core performers, where the difference is like 3 times, not like 1.5 times. And that's where I can say that maybe like I see that it's like twice as fast or something. So these numbers kind of like, I don't know how to how to interpret that. And again, what if I got like this, like i7, like 10th generation, right? Or AMD, will that run like all of my stuff faster? That's what I'm kind of like concerned of, because like the machines that are like, I can buy like this exact like XPS just like 2020 or 2021, and it's going to be faster than this one, and hopefully it will not overheat or throttle and stuff like that. But I have a chance of it running like faster compared to this M1, and maybe there's like a way to get a laptop that is also like not overheating, also like not running fans on full blast and stuff like that. And the best part is that it's not going to have macOS. I can install Linux and be happy with how everything is running, because I think like macOS is like the biggest problem that I have right now. And like the hardware is like, it's not disappointing, it's just like not as fast as I was hoping for. Yeah, so in terms of productivity, I did kind of like real difference is that I can do more stuff at the same time. I can stream and like run of my software, or I can I don't know, like run multiple projects at the same time. That was like a real big problem for me, because if I was working on multiple projects, I would have to like go and stop everything first before starting a new project. I feel like on the M1 I wouldn't be like thinking about it. I can just run everything at the same time. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that's all of this is happening on the like the battery power on the Mac, and connected to the wall with like 130 watt adapter on the Dell. This computer is actually like connected with like trickle charge, which is like I think 10 watt or something, and it usually like it has like a chance to charge to full. So like I only connected it to like this M1 Max like huge wall charger maybe like twice for the whole week. Yeah, that's actually where my kind of like real difference is that when I run games, I don't see like any of the problems that I see on the Dell. I even installed like a Steam Link, it's called. It's where you can like on a local network, you can use your computer kind of like as a cloud gaming server. And the thing is that on my Dell, if I just like start Steam with like this Steam Link, it will just like overheat into oblivion. Like everything just stops, and like I don't know if like this is the Dell problem, or maybe like M1 like app is not like optimized or something, but like I wasn't able to get this working. Yeah, but so the test that I did in previous video was with Heroes of the Storm, and it was running 120 FPS, because they say it's like the GPU of M1 Max is kind of like comparable to 350 or like 380 by some measures, and yeah, my Dell has like 1050 I think. So it's like 5 years old, so sure, it doesn't have like this performance. But again, like on Mac, you have very limited like amount of games, so this performance is kind of like it's getting wasted. Anyway, I feel like I'm talking in circles. I got my results. It's on one side, it's like it's pretty definitive results, but on the other side, like if there wasn't few runs that ended up in 30 seconds, I would be more happy. But it only happened when I was trying to overload the system, when I was like streaming and running like a grep on the random device. So it's not that big of a problem, but maybe it's maybe it will show up in like in real usage when I'm running more stuff at the same time. So, but this didn't happen yet, so we will see. I'm planning to run like few emulators and stuff like that for work soon, so maybe I will see it there. But yeah, so the overall like feel of the operating system is much more snappier. It's of course it's comparable to when my laptop, like my Intel laptop, is running and running like cold and good, but it's like it's not happening all the time because it's getting overheating problems from time to time. So it's I'm kind of like used to it getting slow from usage, but on Mac I didn't really see it, except for like, as I said, one time where like kind of like everything was getting slow and I just rebooted it. Okay, unfortunately I didn't do as much streaming setup stuff as I was hoping. Unfortunately, the test that I was running didn't provide like as clean cut result as I wanted, and yeah, and it took more time than I had allotted for this. But okay, we will see what I can do next week. I wonder if I can get started on kind of like real projects that are more interesting to stream than just these tests. But yeah, I was just curious to kind of like to be able to do stuff like that when I have like a split screen of of the same program running on Linux and on Mac OS. I really miss Linux. Like everything was much more configurable, controllable. I don't know. In Mac, it's a lot of like my way or highway, and all the like programs that allow you to tweak stuff, they come with their own kind of like crazy ideas how to do something. So yeah, it's I'm still struggling. So anyway, that's enough for now. Yeah. Unfortunately, like the epic fail of trying to set up a better camera didn't pay out, and I mean it's possible. I can live with sometime with this camera. There are bigger problems that I need to solve. Okay, bye bye.